Tonight, in the US pharmaceutical sector, a giant is giving itself a shot of Botox by buying the Irish-based maker of the famous drug. Now, the parties involved, Abbvie, I should say, has announced it will buy Allergan for $63 billion. Shares of both companies are going in opposite directions, which is interesting. The acquiree is up 26%. The acquirer is down 15%. It's the latest in a raft of big deals in what's been a busy year for mergers and acquisitions across all sectors. Here are some of the other proposed tie-ups. In January, we had Bristol Myers Squibb announcing it would buy Celgene for $74 billion. Bristol Myers stock tumbled on Monday when it announced the deal could face antitrust immunity. And out of pharma, you've got UT, United Technologies, that's hoping to snap up Raytheon. They're joining forces. It will be an aerospace powerhouse. The combined value is more than $160 billion. So what's driving these deals? Matt Egan is in New York, joins me now. Matt, let's look first of all at the Abbvie Allergan deal and then reverse backwards, if you like. Why does this deal make sense?
This deal is all about diversification. Abbvie was under enormous pressure because its biggest drug, Humira, is losing patent protection in 2023. And that is a big deal because not only is it the world's top-selling drug, it's an anti-arthritis treatment, but it also made up 2/3 of Abbvie's sales. So what they've done is they've gone out, they spent a lot of money, and they've acquired Allergan, which obviously is the company behind Botox. And so the aim of this is to make Abbvie a more diversified company. But what I think you're seeing is there is some concern in the market about just how costly this is. If you include debt, Richard, this is an $85 billion deal. It's the second biggest pharma deal in history, according to Dealogic.
All right. If we look at that, and we ask ourselves, Abbvie needs heft. It needs new ways forward. But does Allergan provide it?
The market is telling you maybe not, right? Because we've seen such a sharp decline, 16% down for Abbvie. And I think that's because, one, there's two real issues here with this deal. One is that there isn't really that much of an overlap between these two companies. And so that could reduce some of the synergies and cost reductions that they could wring out when they join forces. The other issue is that Allergan's pipeline is not really all that robust. If you look at the press release, Abbvie didn't even talk about Allergan's pipeline, and so that raises some concern. And one other point is that Botox itself will be facing competition in the coming years.
So all these other deals, Raytheon, UT, the Bristol Myers deal, I mean, they're large numbers, but are they, do we see that it's actually any better, bigger or worse than in previous years in terms of M&A activity?
So there's no doubt that we are seeing a flurry of M&A deals, particularly these big blockbuster monster deals. I'll add another one to your list, and that is the bidding war that we saw over Occidental Petroleum between, the bidding war over Anadarko. Yeah. And that was obviously won by Occidental Petroleum. So, I mean, I think that the question, right, is does this signal some sort of confidence from the C-suite? Because you have to think, they're not going to go out and spend all this money and take on all this debt if they see a recession coming. So maybe it is a sign of confidence. On the other hand, if you look back at history, sometimes it's been a sign of hubris. The last time there was a pharma deal of this size or bigger was Pfizer's deal in